Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It is November. Usually I have this all figured out. This is November the 16th, and today we are going to be doing messages for November the 17th. And I guess I should have hit mute. You would think I would have that down by now. Anyway, we are doing messages for Friday, November the 17th for every sign today. After that, we'll do about 5 minutes of Reiki. And then after that, it'll be a free-for-all. You guys can ask me whatever questions you might want to ask me. And let's see, I think today I'm going to use cards. I haven't been using cards for you guys for a while, but I think today I want to. I'm feeling lazy, so I'm going to go back to using cards instead of just reading the energy this morning. Dano, good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad to see you in the room. How are you today? So we're going to start with Aries. Aries, Aries, Aries. High flying disc. I think you guys are coming in a pretty positive mood coming up tomorrow. Let's see what goes on. Yeah, maybe so positive that you're not feeling even very balanced, like kind of over the moon. I do see you collaborating with some other people tomorrow. And I think that that collaboration is going to be something that in the end you're going to be a little bit disappointed with actually how it turns out. I don't think it's going to really slow you down or stop you. It's just an obstacle to get past. Tweak it, adjust it, make it work out better. I am just going back and forth across my table, Dano. She wants to know what cards I'm using. I've got 4 decks sitting across my table, and I'm going back and forth. That last one was the Druid Craft. Next is going to be, what is the next one? Wildwood Tarot. This shirt actually is from when I used to sell ice cream, and we came out with a Shrek popsicle face. And so the ice cream company where I ran my truck out of gave all of us drivers a Shrek shirt to advertise with. Little ODD, glad to see you this morning. Glad to see you here. Let's move on to Taurus. Taurus, very focused once again. Focused on a project, moving forward. Putting a lot of energy and effort into it is what I feel like. Let's see what your cards have to add to that. Oh, you've got some heavy thinking going on. You're trying to decide if you really want to move forward with something or not. You thought you wanted to make a commitment, and now you're thinking, ooh, maybe not. Starting to see that there are some secrets around that commitment that maybe you hadn't realized before. Maybe not even secrets, but illusions. And so you're starting to do some communication about this before you make your decision. All right. Let's see who's next. Gemini. Gemini. We're going to use the Lavender Tarot. Well, I've named mine Lavender, but she's a Shadowscapes deck for Gemini. Gemini, Gemini, Gemini. I feel like you guys are on the merry-go-round. I'm not sure if this is you're trying to call and get something done into a company, and they're like, oh, let me transfer you to this person. Oh, I can't help you, but this person can. Let me transfer you over there. Oh, well, I'm really not the person to take care of that. You need to talk to so-and-so. Let me transfer you over there. You guys are going round and round. I think you guys are getting the runaround about something today, Gemini. Let's see what your cards have to add to that. Looks to me like somebody's tried to pull the wool over your eyes, Geminis, and you're standing up for yourself. At first, you were like, oh, let's just see how far you're going to take this. Because I know you at some point you're going to realize this is just too much. And that person has not realized it in time for you. Now you're like, thank you very much. We're going to stop that shit right now. Excuse the language. And then after you get that taken care of, I think you're really focused on moving forward on something else. It's like once it's done, you don't even have to think about it anymore. You get to focus and move on to the next thing. So good for you, Gemini. All right, let's take a peek. Let's take a peek. What's funny, Dano? Cancer, Cancer, coming up for Cancer. Flat rate, flat date. That's what I'm hearing. I don't know if a lot of you guys are mailing some stuff out. When I think of flat rate, I think of mail shipping. Flat rate, flat date. I do feel like there is something coming up about a date or a deadline for you guys, Cancer, and you're feeling like what's being expected from you as far as energy and effort you're having to expend for that is way more than what the original idea might have been. And so you may be saying to somebody else, hey, hello, deserve a little more compensation here, or else need a little more help here or something. All right, so let's look at see what your cards have to add to that, Cancer. I'll use in my Tarot of Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg for you guys. Definitely looks like something you've come up against some kind of obstacle. And I think that you come into looking at your cards. Once you come into the obstacle, I think it's just a temporary thing. You do find a solution for it that you actually like a lot. And then in unrelated news, something that's not related to this obstacle that you've overcome, there is some kind of disappointment that is coming in later on during the day. I feel like this is more on an emotional or personal nature, where the other stuff may have had to do more with work or with getting something accomplished that was not quite so personal. Okay, so that's Cancers. Oh my gosh, Dano. Well, this may be the day he's trying to get a hold of the phone company again. Dee Dee Ryan, good morning, good morning, good morning. We're doing things a little different today. I felt like shaking it up. Not just looking at energy for everybody, we're also doing a few cards just to see what else they will add to the day. Just because I'm feeling lazy. Looking at energy takes more energy than looking at cards. Leos for Friday the 17th. What do I see coming in for you? Looks like you guys have some kind of big hole that you're trying to fill in. For some of you, this is going to be an emotional hole that you're trying to fill in. And for others of you, this may very well be that you have some kind of leak, or maybe somebody knocks a hole in the wall or something. I don't know. But some kind of hole that you're trying to fill in. For a lot of you, I think it's going to be more emotional than physical. But you never know. Spirit can be very literal a lot of times. Let's see what the cards have to add to that for your day on Friday, Leos. Looks to me like you're definitely going to be doing something impulsive, maybe even taking a little trip, or just some kind of little adventure. Doesn't have to be very far away necessarily, but for some of you, you will be taking a little trip. Looks like, Leos, you may be taking this trip by yourself. This may not be something where you have, a loved one or a friend with. This may be something that you've decided you just need some time alone. You need to go do something fun, so you're taking off. And whatever is going on here, I feel like this is very healing for you, and it's bringing balance back into your life where it needs to be. By the way, that was a Druidcraft tarot. I don't know if anybody really cares what tarot it is when I'm not showing the cards. Let's see, Virgos for Friday. Virgo for Friday. Feeling like you're very happy-go-lucky on Friday, which kind of out of character for you guys. I feel like the reason you're very happy-go-lucky is somebody has just kind of like put you in this mood of, you know what, if that's the way you're going to be, I really don't care. Whatever. I'm going to go have fun now. No, not today. Thanksgiving will be next week, the 23rd. 23rd. You're close. All right, so what do the cards have to add to the Virgos happy-go-lucky, I don't really give a flying anymore? That's Amista's self-censoring. I should do that more often. Let's see. Yeah, Virgos, you are totally giving yourself a release. You're like, yeah, I've been frustrated by this for a long time. I'm so done with this. I'm just letting it go. You have new ideas about other things that you would rather do with your time, and I see you pursuing those. And I feel like they're going to be away from home. You're going to be, you are going to be just taking off and doing something that's going to be different than what you have been, because you're not being appreciated in what you have been doing. Yep, I know. I have friends in Canada, so I don't remember what date it was. I tried to remember to tell them happy Thanksgiving. Candace, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you? I should be keeping track of who are my Canadian customers and who are my American customers or clients, I should say, and sending out appropriate Thanksgiving cards instead of sending everybody USA ones. Libra, you're making me think, Dano. Keeping me on my toes. Thomas Martin, welcome back, my dear. Welcome back. Okay, so we're doing things a little bit differently for those of you who just joined. I am doing looking a little bit into energy, but I'm also using cards today because I'm feeling lazy today, and it takes more energy to look deeply into energy than it does to read cards. So, Libras, Libras, Libras. You guys are just having a well planned out, well organized day. Things are going pretty much the way you want them to. I think in the evening you might get some kind of little surprise on Friday. For some of you, that'll be a good surprise. For some of you, it will be a bad surprise. I appreciate people talking. It makes me feel like I'm actually talking to some people out there. Let's see what we have for Libras. Libras, yeah, you have really good stuff going on during the day. This is actually like a lot like what I saw for you guys for today, that you're getting a lot of things accomplished. Things are happening. You're meeting goals, meeting targets in the morning. In the afternoon, it looks like there's something coming up that you thought had gone to bed or that you thought you had put to bed. This is coming back up. For some of you, I feel like this may be a business deal that you thought, well, I'm not getting that one. I can't compete with who they're talking to. I think this comes back to you. That's what I see for you guys. It may not be a business deal, but I do think that there's something coming back to you that you thought was over and dead, and I think it's actually a good thing when it comes back to you. You're glad to see this thing coming back down the road. In the evening, you're going to be traveling. A lot of you will be traveling. A lot of you will be, this is kind of, a lot of people see this as a card as just travel, but I also see it as new adventures. Adventures don't even have to be far from home, but just exploring new things that you haven't done. New adventures could even be exploring a new restaurant and seeing if you like any of the food there, because, you know, I don't know about you guys, but I'm really picky about my food, and if I don't like it, ooh. So a new restaurant's always an adventure for me. So it could be something like that coming up, but some kind of new adventure for you this evening. And I am talking about Friday the 17th, by the way. They're Libras. So maybe a new restaurant, maybe a little bit of a trip, something that is definitely more spur of the moment than really well planned out, which I know the rest of your day is pretty well planned out and going on track. But evening, I think, is a little more spur of the moment. Okay, Scorpio, Scorpio. Every day is a good one. There's always something good in every day if you look for it. Very cool, Dano. Right? Why not? Okay, Scorpio, Scorpio. Let me look at you guys. I need to pick up the right deck. So we're using the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg for Scorpio. We just used the Shadowscapes for Libra. Yep, you just got to know where to look to find the good stuff. Some days you got to look harder than others. If you stub your toe getting out of bed, it's going to be a rough day. You may as well just get back in bed and start over. See if you can take a nap and wake up again. Do a do-over. Scorpios, what do I feel for you for Friday the 17th? I should say for us. Friday the 17th, Friday the 17th, Friday the 17th for Scorpio. Scorpio, I think we're going to be sending out some kind of invitation or some kind of message, and we're going to be waiting to see what the response is. This is, I'm getting so many different images. This is kind of like dipping your toe in the water to see what things are going to be like. So you may be, you know, pitching a new idea to somebody just to see what they think of it. Not necessarily trying to get them to commit as much as just seeing what do they think of it. Can we tweak it? Can we make it move forward? Is this a dud? Should I throw it away? Should we think about something else? But I do think we're going to be lobbing out there some kind of communication just to see what kind of response we're going to get. Is there going to be a bite on that line? Okay, so let's see what the cards can add to that. People tell me I'm funny, Dano. I tell you what, I think the truth is always funnier than fiction if you can step back from it and just laugh. Sometimes you have to laugh instead of cry, but there's a lot of irony in the truth usually, and I think that's funny. That's just my sense of humor. Okay, cards for Scorpio. What do we have adding up? I think something's going on early in the day for us tomorrow, Scorpios, where we are feeling like our sense of security is a little bit threatened, and we are stepping up to the plate. We're taking care of that stuff that right now. That's going to be my new sensor sound if I remember that. We're taking care of that right now. So by the middle of the day, I think whatever it was that was making us feel insecure, we're just like, okay, I'm so over that. I'm fine. I am still the queen. Okay. And then once we get to the evening, we have some kind of new epiphany coming in. We're going to be seeing things from a completely different light, and that's going to make puzzle pieces go together for us that probably were not quite fitting before. It's going to clear some things up for us. All right. So that's Scorpio. I have a great aura. See, I don't see auras. So whenever anybody says that, I'm always curious, what does my aura look like? Which is a crazy question for a psychic to ask, but I'm mostly clairaudient, clairsentient, and claircognizant. So if I have visions, that's actually been a really recent thing for me to develop visions of things. So I really don't normally see auras. So that's always something that fascinates me when people say that. Let's move on to Sagittarius for Friday the 17th. Friday the 17th for Sagittarius. You guys have a light bulb going on sometime during the day. There's some kind of new idea that comes in for you, or else some kind of new clarity about something that's already going on that comes in for you, Sagittarius. I think this may not necessarily be something that you actually are hoping is true or wanting to hear, but I also feel like just knowing this information, even though it may not be what you like, is a relief, because it helps you know what direction you actually want to go forward. And I think that you've been having some kind of confusion about that up until Friday, Sagittarius. Let's see what your cards have to add to that. Good morning, Froggy. Oh yeah, because you know Aries is at the beginning. Do I see the angels in other realms? I'm not a big angel person. If I see anything, it's going to be spirit guides, and I have ghosts that are around me all the time, but mostly I feel them. I don't normally see them. Every once in a while, I'll see something in my camera, and I'll be like, I need to find out who that was later on. Because it actually shows up on the video, but like not with my third eye. I don't normally see them. I just know, like I sense when they're around. But I have them around me so much that honestly, I don't pay too much attention to them most of the time. I have a lot of spirits that are just welcome to be in my home and be around me. I know that they have my highest and best interest at heart. And so I have a lot of family spirits. I have a lot of interested party spirits that they're just always here. Somebody that's almost always hanging around right here in my office is my granddaddy. He never was into anything like this when he was alive, and my work ethic to him is very, very strange, because I just kind of wander in here whenever I'm ready and happy to be here. And that, for a while, when he first started hanging out with me, was not good mocus. I used to get in here and realize, oh, I need to go get a drink before I can get started. Let me go back and get some apple juice. And I would be getting ready to go out the door, and he would slam the door on me like he wanted me. No, you came to work. Stay here and work. We kind of had to come to an agreement. Now he understands. In fact, we just had a conversation the other day. Now he understands. He's not stressed out by how I work now. Hello there, Natalie. Welcome, welcome. I'm glad to see you in the room, honey. But no, I actually don't see, even my granddaddy, I don't see him. I'm just aware of him. All right, so Sagittarius, I've already given you what I picked up energetically. Let's see what the cards have to add to that, using the Precision deck again, or the Russian Tarot of St. Petersburg again. Let's see, for Friday for Sagittarius, the cards have to say, there is some good advice or information that you're going to be passing on to other people around you. You could be helping orient somebody new at work. You could be teaching somebody how to tie their shoelaces, but information that you're passing along to somebody around you. There is a lot of communication and planning going on around you. There may be a lot of information about travel going on around you. You may be traveling, even Sagittarius, during the day, but things are happening quickly, whatever's going on, whether it's plans or communication or travel itself, it's happening quickly and through the air. So when I say through the air, communication through the air, vibrations that come out of our mouth, that travels through the air. Of course, any kind of messages that go back and forth between phones, that's traveling through the air, electronics, all that stuff, traveling through the air. So that doesn't really limit it to anything, pretty much. So a lot of communication going on around you. A lot of that's going to have to do with travel, and you may be actually moving quickly, Sagittarius, tomorrow. And there will be a little bit of financial expenditure for you at the end of the day, towards the end of the day, maybe in the evening, Sagittarius. Okay, so let's move on. Moving on to Capricorn for November the 17th, Friday. Friday, November the 17th. La, da, 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 da. for Capricorn. I think you guys are really slowing down on Friday. You're taking some time to really think things over. You have some decisions in front of you. I don't think that you're ready to make them just yet, but you know they're coming, and you're trying to prepare for them. You're trying to see, how do I really feel about this? Let me sit with this so that I can find a decision that resonates well. That's what I see for Capricorns coming up on Friday, November the 17th. Let's see what the cards can add to that. Okay, so your decision really has to do with somebody that you have partnered up with, whether it's a romantic partnership, a business partnership, or whatever. I think you're seeing some writing on the wall that this thing is about to just explode and come apart. And you're really seeing that because the person that you're working with is not so much steady and stable and reliable like you would like somebody that you're partnered with to be, whether it's a business partnership. See, that's one of my little ghosties just went by. Like in a business partnership, or like in a romantic partnership like you would like, okay? And so you see this, I think you see this coming. And so you're making some decisions, Capricorn, and this has to do with, you know, what am I going to do after this comes apart? You know, what are going to be my options? How am I going to handle that? Because like I said, I think you're seeing the writing on the wall. So you're kind of getting your stuff together, at least mentally and emotionally, on Friday. Oh, very cool, Thomas. That's fantastic. All right, so let's look at, what were you healed from? Let's look at Aquarius. We're going to be using the Wildwood Tarot for Aquarians. What do I have for Aquarius as far as energetically? I feel like overall you guys are going to have a pretty decent day on Friday, but I also feel like there are little bumps that keep coming up, little bumps in the road, little obstacles. And so little obstacle, little obstacle, little obstacle, little obstacle. The baseline of the day is pretty good, but you've got all these little annoying things to deal with as you go through your day, Aquarians, and that is Friday the 17th. That is cool, isn't it? And you don't have to tell me what your healing was all about if you don't want to. I know stuff like that is personal, so please don't feel obligated just because I asked. I know that I won't be offended. But I am curious. So what can Aquarians cards add to their day? What do we have coming up? Looks to me like you're going to be receiving your dues. Basically, somebody's going to be paying you back for something that they borrowed from you or something that they owe you. So you're going to be receiving something back to you that you had put out before, Aquarians. I also see something coming up here about the healing of a heartache. So there may be somebody that you were not getting along with that you guys get back on the same page, somebody that was important to you. Or it could be for some of you, Aquarians, this could have to do with a project that you've been working on that wasn't going as well as you wanted. I'm also getting that that starts to take shape and go in a good direction for you. And for a lot of you, that's what this healing of the heartache is going to be about, much more so than about a relationship or a person in your life. And then towards the end of the day, I feel like you are deciding that you are counting it's time for you to count the cost about something that you're planning on doing. You're already sort of into it, but you're getting to a point of no return if you keep going further, and you're deciding, I really need to figure out if I want to go further. I want to think about how this is going to affect me and my life and my lifestyle if I go further with this, or if I want to just kind of hold back and stay status quo where I am right now. In fact, I almost said stay stagnant where I am right now. So that kind of gives you a hint, like where Spirit would like to see you go with this, if they view it as stagnant, if you don't go forward with it. But this is a card too that talks about, Spirit basically is asking you to count the cost and decide if this is what you want or not. Because once you hit that point of no return, if you're not ready for whatever the cost may be in your particular situation for whatever this is you're moving forward with, then that's going to be way more discouraging than if you've already figured out, okay, there are going to be bumps on the road and I kind of think they're going to have to do with this. So I'm getting ready, So that's what we have going on for you, Aquarians. Bang on, huh? I love it when I'm bang on. I must be doing something right. Okay, let's look at Pisces. Now, everybody actually is born psychic. So, like, honestly, what I'm doing is not anything different than any of the rest of you could do. All you have to do is practice a little bit and be a good listener. That's what I tell everybody. If you can listen to Sacred Spirit, you can pass messages along. So, you know, I'm really not anything special. Pisces, what do I feel for you guys? Friday, November the 17th. Whew, 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 whew. Evergreen, evergreen. I really feel like Pisces, first of all, you are feeling like you have abundance, like you have everything that you want and everything that you need for the day on Friday the 17th. I also feel like you have an unlimited supply of energy on the 17th too. You guys may be eating really healthy or doing things that are improving your health, and you're feeling it. You're really feeling good on the 17th, Pisces. Let's see what the cards can add to that. Usually I can read myself, Dano. The only times that I really can't is if it has to do with like financial stuff, because I tend to worry about that stuff a little more than I should. And also, sometimes relationship stuff I can deal with, and sometimes relationship stuff I can't be objective about. Pisces, what do we have coming up for you? Pretty much anything else I can always read on myself. Let's see. I make a lot of my business decisions with the cards, actually. What kind of price should I put on this service? Should it be this amount? Nope. Should it be higher? Oh, okay. What should it be? All right. Let's look at Pisces. Pisces, water sign, you come up with the High Priestess right off the bat. That's no surprise. Let's see what else we've got going on here. So you're paying really good attention to your intuition on Friday. You may also be expanding in your intuition. You're definitely practicing it, paying attention to it on Friday, and it's bringing you good solid wisdom that you can move forward with. Have confidence in that intuition whenever you feel it coming in on Friday, Pisces. Also, it looks to me like you have a friend that is rubbing you, I was going to say on the wrong last nerve. They're rubbing you raw. This is like not cool. They are just annoying, annoying, annoying. I feel like for some of you, this is somebody who is younger and has a little bit of immaturity. They're not even aware how annoying they are. They're just, they won't leave you alone. All you really want is for them to go over and do their thing somewhere else. And they feel like they have to be right there with you, talking, chattering. Maybe they want your input and advice, and you're feeling like, you know what, this is really basic common sense. I think you can handle this. They are not handling it well. They're not in a really good place. So they're rubbing you in a wrong way, Pisces. You do find some balance. The last card tells me that you do find some balance during the day. So you find a way to sort of set boundaries about with this person so that they're not totally like ruining your peace for the whole day. Okay, so good ending to the day. Glad you're able to find some balance there, Pisces. So that is our messages for tomorrow. Did take a little longer since I did energy and the cards, but we're not going to do cards every day, guys. This was just because I was feeling lazy. Cards are much easier to read than energy. Let's see. Let's do 5 minutes of Reiki, and we'll open it up to questions. Let me go ahead and get your Reiki started. I am setting the intention on the Reiki for whatever will benefit you guys the most. Feel free to adjust those intentions to whatever will fit you the best. Also, if you don't happen to be here, if you're just watching this later, then please realize that this Reiki will be just as effective for you. All you have to do is set the intention to receive it. And once again, you can adjust the intentions just as well. You won't call your brother and annoy him. Feeling of dread hanging around for a couple of weeks. Let me feel a little bit about that as I'm doing the Reiki, whether that's going to be a short answer or a reading, because right now I'm not exactly sure. Candace Burgess, are you asking me a question? Here's the thing, guys. If you want to ask me a question, I really need you to like ask me the question. I don't need somebody who's like 2 years old saying food. Okay? We're all adults here. I want full questions here. Grace Marie, hello, hello, welcome. Glad to see you in the room. How are you today? Oh, you're setting an intention. Okay, cool, cool. Sorry about that. I totally took that the wrong way. Dee Dee, I think what you've got on your mind would be something for like a one question reading, one of the one question recorded readings where I can put down like 5 cards and just look at, okay, tell me what this is all about. What do you mean you're hurting? Physically, emotionally? That's my timer. Go away. So Thomas, I just read now what you got healed from. That is awesome. Congratulations, honey. Okay, well then take this Reiki and appropriate it for you for emotion-wise to help you find your peace again. For those of you who have never had a full Reiki session with me, if you can imagine the help that you get from these little 5-minute tiny sessions, imagine having an hour of Reiki where it's all focused straight up on you. You definitely want to do that. And for those of you who have never experienced Reiki before, I do offer one free session at no charge, just so that you can have that experience of Reiki, because I do firmly believe everybody should have that. Of course, I do have also another motive as well, which is that I'm sure you'll come back to me for more Reiki at some point. And at that point, I'll have to charge you for it. And so that way I can pay my bills. But I really do think everybody should experience Reiki at least once in their life. Quite welcome, quite welcome. I know, right? Well, Thomas Martin, you would be a perfect candidate to learn Reiki if you wanted to have Reiki every day. Like one of the reasons that my mother chose to learn Reiki is she has arthritis, and doing Reiki every day on her arthritis makes a big difference in her life. So, if you have something that you would like to have a lot of Reiki, it's totally worth it to get the class. You should contact me, see if we can get something going. Where do you live anyway? Oh, that would be great, Dano. Dano, I mean. I'm going back to the old way of saying your name. I don't know why. I love doing Reiki. Email me. How do you learn Reiki? Well, there are books out there on Reiki that you can read. The only problem with just reading a book and trying to teach yourself is that you don't have an instructor to ask questions, number one, but also to really do Reiki proficiently, you want to have the attunements, and only the instructor can give you Reiki attunements. You have to have a Reiki master who can do that. So really what you want to do is you want to get into a class. If you get a Reiki level 1 class, that teaches you how to help yourself with anything that you want to send Reiki for yourself for. And then it also teaches you how to help people that, like are near you, are in the same room with you, that you can actually touch. And then Reiki level 2 teaches you how to address specifically mental and emotional issues. Plus it also teaches you how to help people who are far away from you that you can't necessarily touch. I offer lessons to people all over. My last class, I actually live in Colorado, and my last class was in Missouri. We can talk about how that works technically. I do request that the classes have at least 2 people in them, because I do want to have somebody in the class that's around, that you can talk to and that you can practice on and everything. And then I just think that it really helps a student to at least have one other person. The last class, what happened was somebody set up Skype on their laptop and plugged it into their TV, and then everybody came in and watched me on the TV. We would do Skype sessions for the teachings. And then they set up also the camera so that I could see them as they were practicing and make sure that I could fine tune anything that was going on with them as they were practicing. Thank you, Dee Dee. That's very kind of you to recommend a Reiki session. Derbyshire in the UK. So we'll have a little time difference. So whatever happens between you and me, I'll be doing in the morning, and it'll be like 8 o'clock in the morning for me is like 3 o'clock in the afternoon for you. So probably wouldn't have anything going on before 3 in the afternoon. So, but that's okay. We could totally schedule a class if you want to do that. Really, seriously, Dano, if you can set up Skype in your living room, bring in as many people as you want. I don't even have to travel. We can take care of business. And the classes are fun. They really are. This is not the time of year I want to be traveling. It's cold. It's colder where you are than where I am. Okay, so we've gone a little bit over on Reiki. Anybody have any free-for-all questions for me? I'm going to call them free-for-all questions because they can be questions about anything. I'll be happy to answer them. I'm going to stay about 4 more minutes to answer any questions for you guys that you might have for me. Good onion soup recipe. My favorite colors. Little simple things that you might like me to read. You don't live in igloos? Well, if you seriously want to fly me here, then send me an email. We'll figure something out. Will you do well at the job fair today? Yes, you will. You'll make a good impression on a lot of people, honey. Do I think his feelings changed since the last time we looked at his feelings? Probably. Especially you guys have been communicating. They've probably changed about 50 times by now. Dee Dee, I didn't see yours, honey. You're going to have to put it back up there. It must have scrolled by me before I caught it. I'm sorry. Thomas Martin, when will you be going back to India? You'll be going back there within 3 months. So we're looking at it's November 17th now, December, January, February. So by February 17th, I see you going back there. I think you'll actually be getting on a plane probably somewhere between the 14th and the 16th to be exact. You're quite welcome, Candace. Oh yeah, the feeling of dread, I did answer. I think what would be best, Dee Dee, because this is going to be something I'm going to want to put down cards on and be really thorough and clear with. That's something that would be better if you could get a 1-question reading from me, and I could do 1-question recorded and really put down cards and just, I really want to take some time with something like that. Usually my 1-question readings are anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes by the time I finish them up, and that's where it feels like that belongs to me. Oh, that's cool, Froggy. You're an orange girl, huh? You're quite welcome, Thomas. Did you ask me this before, Dano? Thank you, Candace. For those of you who cannot read Candace's comment, she just put a reading as fun, accurate, and informative with Amista. Yay! You guys, seriously, whenever I pray, I always pray that I can help people with my work as much as possible. So, aren't you expecting it today? Miss Froggy, hello there. Cindy, welcome, welcome. Glad you're here. I think you did a day or two ago. At that time, the advice that I gave you was as long as you can envision it and think positively about it, then you should go. But today, what I heard when you first asked that question was no. And the reason I asked if you asked me that before is because when you repeat questions to Spirit, because when I ask my questions, I go straight to Sacred Spirit. I don't connect with your energy, which is what a lot of other psychics will tell you they do. So it gets tricky when you repeat your questions. And I think my theory about why it gets tricky is because, Spirit answers that question at one point, and then we ask it again, and then Spirit's going, guess they don't trust us. All right, well, let's see if they like this answer better. And so they'll throw out something completely different. And then say a person asks a third time. Next thing you know, you'll get a completely different third answer. And you end up getting way more confused than you were to start with. So it's important if you ask a question to try to remember what the answer was. And then I would say if you've asked multiple times, you want to go with whatever the first answer was and run with that. Oh, it could be next week. Got you. I thought that was like set in stone. Honey, what I'm hearing is Wednesday. I hope I'm wrong, Froggy. You have bad momnesia? Amnesia. Oh, gotcha. That's right, Thomas Martin. They don't appreciate all the repeated questions. Even if you go to different readers, you'll get the same result. It'll be all different answers. Different reader, same reader, doesn't matter. I think there will be a reconciliation with your person, Grace Marie. I don't think you should hold your breath on how long that lasts, though. Yeah, they'll get sick of it, too. They'll start rebelling. You know you're in trouble if you ask a pendulum a question and it jumps straight up into your hand instead of swinging. I am not answering that, you freak. Leave me alone. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Grace Marie. I mean, you've been off and on with this guy for a while. I think the only thing that really keeps you hanging in there is this, that you're hoping something will change at some point. Right? You've been waiting a long time already, Froggy. No, actually, I hadn't heard of that. Do you really, Daniel? You're going to have to try to be more aware when it comes to reading questions. Grace Marie, you're almost getting to a point where it would be good to have a reading just to see what happens if you let this go and what happens if you hold on to it. The way you feel right now, I would be getting a reading, I can tell you that much. Anything special in your future? Let's define special. What do you think of as special? This is the last question I'm going to answer, guys, and then I'm going to have to take off. Money-wise, why did I think you were going to say that? Some people think special is relationship-wise. Some people think career-wise. Some people think money-wise. They kept thinking she wants to know about a big lump sum of money. Money-wise for Cindy Triano. In her future. Future's a long way out. Let's look at the next 3 months. I do feel like you're getting some kind of lump sum. I don't think it's going to be quite as much as you want it to be or you're expecting it to be. I think it's going to be about 80%. Feels to me like it's from some kind of court case or some kind of legal proceeding. I'm not sure if this is like a divorce or you're going after, a deadbeat dad, or if this is, like a accident or something. But there's definitely a very legal feel about this money. Even I guess it could come out of probate court, like out of, you could inherit it and it has to go through court to get to you. But definitely there's legal energy all over this money whenever you receive it. And like I said, I think you're going to get about 80% of what you're hoping for or expecting. And I think that's going to be about 2.5 months out when you receive it. Yeah, that's because they learn exactly what they say. They pick it up like a sponge, Dano. Okay, Dee Dee, awesome. A loan investment. Is that coming through court though? This has legal all over. This is this has legal energy on it. I don't know that it would be a loan investment unless you invested in a law school or something. Yeah, that's not what I was feeling. Not unless you take this person to court. Grace Marie, those things, they always happen, right when they're supposed to happen. That's what I've learned from being a reader for a few years, is that readings happen exactly when we need them to happen. Don't stress out about it. I'll just be expecting you. One day you'll ring my phone and I'll be like, oh, there you are. No, that's not what I was sensing. I wasn't really sensing anything like that. I think this is something completely different. Like I said, there is legal energy wrapped all around this money that I was sensing. Okay, so I am out of here, guys. Thank you all so much for keeping me company. I do appreciate it. I'm like, I don't even know how many minutes overtime I am. Anyway, everyone have a fantastic, wonderful, happy, glorious day of looking at all the silver linings and all the good stuff. And I will be back here again tomorrow to talk to y'all again. Peace out.